Welcome to episode 4 of Code to Clutch, where we spotlight women driving change across global motorsport. Today, we're joined by somebody really special. Tinashe Gatamu was the youngest ever female driver to complete at the 2025 WRC Safari Rally, an event that she already competed in thrice. Widely considered one of the toughest rallies in the world, the Safari Rally demands grit, endurance, and exceptional skill. And Tinashe didn't do it alone. Her mother navigated right beside her as a co driver, and her father played a key role in the management, making this a true family affair. A former mechanic turned fully fledged rally driver, Tinashe is also pursuing an engineering degree, all while carving out space for young African women in a sport that rarely makes room for them. She's a young woman of color, an unstoppable force, and she's rising in a space that has always been male dominated. Tinashe, we're so excited to have you here. Let's just get into it. So,
Thank you for
the first question would be that you made history at the 2025 Safari Rally. But let's go back to where it all began. What sparked your love for motorsport? And did you ever imagine back then that you would be the youngest woman to finish in one of the world's toughest rallies?
okay, so my story actually goes back really long, goes back a while ago. My story starts when my parents started participating, or actually they started as spectators first in motorsports events, and they've always loved cars. They're mechanics by profession, and this they started competing in 2008 with the 4x4s. Then they decided it's a bit too slow, so they went to Rally Raid. And then back then it was called cross country. And then after that, now they went to Rally. And throughout all this time, they would bring me and my sister along. And interestingly enough, at the time, I wasn't really interested in what they were doing. I would actually we would arrive, I would sit somewhere in a corner, open up my book, and start reading until the day ended. But I always had a love for cars because even when we went like to buy toys or something, I would always want a car. Or if I was downloading games on the phone, it was always a car game. So the interest for motorsport started towards the end of 2021 when we decided let me try racing and see. And I fell in love with it immediately, and I've never looked back.
And that's awesome to hear. That's how passions develop. And it seems like it was a family affair, passed down through generations. And I know that you started your journey as a mechanic working behind the scenes. So what made you take the leap into driving? And does your mechanical background help you on those rally stages as a driver?
So my dad actually owns a garage, and that's where I interned at as a mechanic. And uh, I was part of the team that, okay, my uncle, okay, my Eric Bengi was racing in the classic rally, and he was racing a Datsun on ATV, and I was part of the mechanics when we were dismantling, like stripping the whole car, putting it back together. And then when we went for the event, the mini classic, which lasted 3 days, I was there. And that experience helped me also to see what goes on behind the scenes. Not to just like, it's not just about getting in a car and driving, there's the preparation, like starting months before. There's everything that goes into the servicing, the logistics to plan how everyone is going to move around. And it gave me an appreciation for what goes on in motorsports.
And that's awesome. And does that background sort of like help you when you are driving the car now?
To some extent, because I understand a bit better the mechanical side than the mechanical aspect, and it to some extent translates to my driving. Also being aware of like what the car can do, what the car can't do. Something. Yeah.
That's very interesting. And as you mentioned, your whole family was involved in racing. And recently, when you had your mom as your co-driver, your dad managing the team, what was it like racing with your entire family in such a high pressure environment?
It was an interesting experience. because I mean, these are the people I've been around my whole life. So I know them like the back of my hand. And being in that environment, it was enjoyable. It was fun because you're with people that you know, you're people that you trust, and we all want the best for each other. And my sister was also a part of it. More of the behind the scenes and administration work. So it really is a whole family event.
And yeah, that's honestly, that's amazing because you have that sort of trust already there, and it just makes you, so much easier to rely on your co-driver. And I know that you're also studying engineering. So, how do you juggle rallying with your engineering studies, not to mention everything else? How do you manage the chaos and sort of like stay focused through it all?
Actually, one thing that my parents have drilled into my sister and I from when we were young is that studies come first. So it's with that kind of a mentality from when I was young, it's not very hard to manage. And I mean, during the weekday, it's school, weekends is rally. And although I would like to make a correction, I'm actually just about to start my engineering degree. I haven't started yet. So right now I'm doing a diploma in business IT. And it's 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 okay. I would say it's fun. It's just fun trying to balance everything, trying to juggle everything, trying also finding your limits, and yeah.
Yeah. And, that's what dual careers, dual passions all about. And it seems like a really stressful schedule. And I know that when you competed in the Safari Rally, it was one of the biggest stages in the world. Do you have like a sort of personal process that you mentally and physically like sort of prepare yourself for the race?
Um, I wouldn't say okay. It's okay. What I do is uh, physical exercise. Physical exercise plays a big part, of course, for your body and also for your mind. I actually play for the Strathmore Swords basketball team. And we train every evening. So that also helps with the physical fitness, also getting mentally tough because basketball in itself is a really tough sport and there are a lot of competitive people there. And it translates to rally and to every other sport because there's some aspects of sports that are interdisciplinary. You can carry them even in life. And through that, I've been able to um, better myself physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah.
And yeah, that's such an inspiration to everybody because at such a young age, you're juggling so much that there is, managing your time, learning your decision-making skills. And, being a young woman of color, especially in motorsport and in rallying, it comes with a lot of challenges. Have you faced any gendered barriers or have you faced any challenges that might be personal to you?
Um, uh, yes, rally is, I mean, it seems like from an outsider's perspective, it seems like I'm juggling a lot, but I don't see it that way. I see it as a blessing because not everyone can be in the position that I'm in. And if the price I have to pay is to find a way to balance, then I'm willing to pay it. And on the side of challenges, in terms of the gender aspect, there haven't really been any challenges because the community in Kenya is very welcoming. It's a whole community. And I mean, the motorsports fraternity is a community. We build each other up. We help each other where we can. If you have a question, you're encouraged to ask it because that's how you learn. I would say in motorsports, what we have faced as a team in terms of a challenge would be financing. And motorsports is quite expensive wherever you go. So we've been grateful to have a lot of partners and sponsors along the way. KCB have come in a big way for even for this year's safari. Um, Shell came in. We started partnering with them from last year, and we are very grateful for that partnership. And apart from that, we've been we've had support from our friends and family. Imprimata, the below the line marketing agency, Marvel Technologies, Shift Auto Ambulance, PN Tuned, Lawyer Wangu, Promoter Works. I mean, all these guys have come in a big way, and we've helped build each other up. And I'm very grateful for that.
And that's, that's amazing to hear because I, even like a lot of people that I have spoken to, one of the main challenges that they faced was funding. And motorsports can be very expensive at every stage. So it's so great to see that you have such an amazing community who, wants to support you through it all. And I know it's sort of like mid-season, but do you have any goals for the remaining season? And do you have any other goals on and off the track that you're chasing?
My goals in the future are to do more national events, to get into ARC, the Africa Rally Championship, and to give the likes of Karan Patel, the current champion, a run for his money, and from there to build up to the WRC, and I mean the sky's the limit for me. And aside from that, in my personal life, is to finish my engineering degree with a first class honors.
Wow, that's honestly, at such a young age, that's so amazing to hear. And the whole organization, as you mentioned, people from various ages, it's so important to have such a strong sort of pillar of support in such a tough sport. And, you know, I I know that you support so many different athletes all across, and there are so many young girls who are watching you around the world who may never imagine that they might have a place for themselves in motorsport. Do you have any pieces of advice or, any last words that you want to say to them?
I would like to say that no dream is too big and no dream are too small. And I would acknowledge that quote to Chabo, the movie. Um, Whatever you think you can do, whatever you dream of doing, it's possible. There are people who have done it before you, so you know that there's a way to do it. And I would encourage them to just come out. There are a lot of organizations and a lot of people in various countries who are willing to help. So just find those people who are eager to teach, who are eager to um, uh, let you participate in various ways. And you don't have to like participate as a driver, actually. You can even can be a co-driver, you can be a marshal, you can be a volunteer, you can be an official. There's so many ways to come into the sport, and also so many disciplines in motorsports as well. Like here alone in Kenya, we have autocross, which is what I participate the most in, which is like a short circuit race where everyone gets turns to go around the track. You have about 4 rounds, and the best of the 3 rounds is what is used to calculate the results. You have rally, stage rally, which is pretty much known worldwide. You have karting, I mean, there's so many disciplines that you can go into. So just come out, be encouraged, be empowered, come out and see where you can fit in.
Yeah, and I hope that we, get to see so many more women working behind the scenes, working in the technology part, and in all these various motorsports. And, unfortunately, we have come to the end of the interview. It went by so fast, but I loved hearing about your journey, and I'm so inspired about everything that you had to say, especially at such a young age, achieving so much. I really wish, all the best to you. And you're not just racing, I think you're redefining what's possible for young women in motorsport. And Tinashe, I just want to thank you so much for being here. And I'll be cheering you on, every step of the way, keeping updated, and hopefully get to see you race one day.
Thank you very much. And you're very welcome to Kenya for the next Safari Rally to come and watch.
Of course.